A lone seagull greets the dawn as it paints the windswept profile of Walker's Cay, a mile-long island suspended in perpetual summer at the northern gateway to the Bahamas. Once the lair of pirates, Walker's in recent years has been a major port of call for the big game angler. He comes not with cannon, but strong tackle and powerful boats. For the treasure he seeks lives in the deep regions of the ocean. But today, the big game angler has been joined by a new restless breed. He fishes from smaller boats with lighter tackle, and he travels the world, forever pushing back the frontiers of sport fishing. With us as we travel the leading edge of light tackle angling. Each expedition will begin here at the world-class fishing resort known as Walker's Cay. Our guide is Pallot, angling champion, teacher, and official keeper of the Walker's Cay Chronicles. Pallot has been perfecting the technique of light tackle angling for 3 decades, setting scores of international records. When he isn't guiding in the Florida Keys, he's here at Walker's teaching his special art or telling friends the details of his latest probe into sports fishing's far country.
Today, professional guide Rob Fordyce and Flip will be in the Florida Keys, where they'll find themselves chasing one of the most difficult accomplishments in all angling.
Good job, Flip, good job! What can I say, my friend? Do you know what this means?
A grand slam!
Oh my God.
Grand slam!
Look at that.
Yeah! Oh, jeez.
I was born in the Florida Keys, a string of islands that chases the sun some 150 miles from Biscayne Bay to Key West. And running along its entire length is some of the finest saltwater fishing in the world. Rob Fordyce knows every inch of it. I've watched him grow into one of the most knowledgeable guides in the business. It was August and we started fishing under the cool, indifferent gaze of the Miami skyline. I've watched it grow up too, but I'm not nearly as happy with the results. But for all its massive change, the urban monster has so far coexisted with some of the best tarpon fishing to be had anywhere. The wind was up, and we knew just seeing a fish in this relatively deep water would be difficult.
Movement. You see a difference in hue on the bottom.
Yeah, you see shadows too.
Shadows. That's the perfect. As a matter of fact, the shadow is the one thing that a fish has or makes or displays that he can't fail to show. And his sides can be shiny and reflect the bottom back at your eye, and he can camouflage himself in that way, but he always throws a shadow.
Flip, 11 o'clock, there's a school of fish coming about 120 feet. Point your rod. A little bit to the right, right about there. They're about 100 feet now. I got him. Got him? You got him?
I got him. I'm going to get him a little bit closer.
I'm going to spin you just a little bit. Let the first fish swim past it. Okay.
He's
Coming after it.
He is following that thing.
Get it. All right.
Missed him, but the school had not been disturbed, so I casted another dark shape as it turned away from the pack. This time I stripped the fly a little faster, and the fish took a serious interest.
It's following it. Oh, he ate it. Oh, he ate it again, Flip. Good job. Great job, Flip.
Thank you.
Nice fish, too. Good fish.
No matter how many times you hook a tarpon, the thrill never fades, as the fish typically vaults time and again into the air. But this particular fish was different. It struck a course for deeper water and seemed to move with firm purpose, peeling offline and putting a football field between itself and us, while Rob struggled to catch up.
Boy, Rob, I'll tell you, we're getting down to the short strokes here.
Yeah, what happened here, Flip? I'm in the...
But as the bottom dropped away, Rob found that the poling was becoming more difficult. And then, suddenly, the weight of the big tarpon was gone.
I think he doubled because I can't even feel the fly line, the weight of the fly line. I just think he's coming toward us for some miraculous reason. Either that or he turned into a frog.
Yeah.
No, we still got a fish here.
All right.
Seizing the opportunity provided by the tarpon's momentary turnaround, Rob increased his pace and began closing the gap.
The only thing that gave me a little bit of hope was as I reeled, I couldn't even feel the weight of the fly line. So I know I thought that I had something.
But the tarpon kept boring ahead through the heavy blue-black seas.
Incredibly tough.
And if my back muscles were complaining, Rob's must have been screaming.
Rob, straight into it. Straight upwind.
From that point on, the fish never altered course, driving straight into the wind, heading toward the deep water. We were straining our respective equipment to the breaking point. While I tested my tackle to its limit, Rob was doing the same to the push-pole, each of us applying every trick we knew to turn this tarpon.
Well, he's been going straight into the wind the whole fight.
We're almost in the Bahamas here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think I can see walkers just across the way. Sure seems like it anyway.
I've met some very bad tarpon in my life. This has got to be one of the worst. Go to the left a little bit, Rob, if you can, so that I can be pulling as nearly straight back all the time. Direction of pressure and angle of pressure are two of the key factors. It's even more important than how hard you pull. I try to put extra pressure on the fly line itself as the fish is fighting. Even when he's taking line, I keep my fingers on the fly line. Sometimes it burns a little bit, but I know what's going on at all times. And if he surges, I can just let go with my fingers.
Right. Sure doing a good job on him.
Oh, he has whipped me to a frazzle. I think this thing is way, way, way up over 100 pounds here.
Yeah.
I think around 130 maybe. Well, if we can get him up in here in the air for a minute, we'll know. Now, that's the first time I've had the leader of the rod for this whole fight.
Yeah.
Now you can get a good look at it. That is
monster
a
fish.
dandy.
Now, as we saw the full length and breadth of the fish, we kept revising our estimates. It was no world's record, but it was very big. Bigger than I had seen in a long time.
God, he could be 150, Rob, this fish.
I know it. No doubt about it. He definitely has that potential.
This is the first time in this whole fight that I feel like I have even the slightest bit of control over this fish.
Yeah.
That's not much.
He's sure done a good job.
But I do have the leader. I
He was bigger than we had first thought, and he'd taken us further than we expected to go. But now it was over, and as we prepared him for his release, I was left in serious doubt as to who had won this fight.
Whoa! Let me help you get the hook out.
If you could just grab that hook.
I'm going to try.
Great help. Boy, Flip, what a nice fish.
I got the fly. How big do you think?
I'd say he's 135, 140.
What a monster! I'll tell you, he's really done in.
You think, Flip, we pump him back a little bit? You want to,
Yeah, let's see if we can pump him a little
grab
while.
his tail there?
You all right?
Yeah. Boy, what a monster fish, Flip.
Let me tell you something.
God.
This is very serious. You know something? He's more than 130, Rob.
Yep.
He's very tired.
Hard to hold on to him in this
Surge.
rough water.
Rob, let's release him on 3. I think he's got a bit of steam. Rob.
Flip, what a fish. Great job. How you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm telling you that my fingers are, my hands are shaking.
Yeah.
But my fingers are cramping. If I leave them in one place too long, they just.
We got a pretty good bonefish tied.
That sounds nice if it's mild.
How could we catch a better tarpon than that?
We can't. We can't.
Let's go do something else then.
Thank you. I need a break.
Let's go.
Don't tell anybody.
No, I wouldn't.
Rob, this is my favorite tide on this flat particularly. This low rising tide when the fish first start to feel secure about coming into the shallow water. And another reason that I like this tide on this flat is this is such a shallow flat that it comes clear out of water when the tide is down. And I think a lot of little crustaceans die when the tide leaves the flat completely and the flat goes dry. And then as the water comes back up on the flat, I think the fish smell these crustaceans or encounter them.
The change between tarpon and bone fishing is more dramatic than a mere switch of tackle. The change must also occur in the mind.
It's like hunting.
I think that's
why
what
I
makes
like
it so
it so
fun. Yeah. I think it makes it so much fun.
Is there anything on that ray, Rob, right there?
Doesn't look like it, Flip. I don't think there is.
You know, these bonefish are amazing. How they learn that a ray makes a good host and goes along the flat and scares things up, and they just figure out how to stay on the back of a ray all the time and get their groceries. Sometimes you wonder if it's real intelligence or if they're just following what nature tells them to do.
That's a loggerhead.
Yeah.
You know that more than anything else, lobsters is what a nurse shark eats.
Is that right?
Yep. You can see this one's underneath the ledge here looking for small lobsters.
Yeah.
Well, you know, now there's starting to be some life on the flat a little bit. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about this.
Yeah, me too. This tide's starting to come up.
I always like to see rays, little sharks, horseshoe crabs, any kind of crustacean feeders.
Yeah.
And I always feel like we got a good shot for having bonefish come into the picture. And in this light, we really do need tailing fish.
Flip, right out here at 11:30.
How far?
About 40 feet.
Oh, wait, I see him. I see him.
Yeah.
He's on it.
He's moving it. He's moving on it. Following it.
Boy, is that gorgeous? You dogs. I did something that bonefish don't like, but I don't know what it was.
He just wasn't cooperating very well.
Maybe it's starting to happen now.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
That was sure nice. Flip, there's a bonefish on that ray over there.
Where's that, Rob?
About 12:30.
Where?
On the right side of the ray. Kind of right there. See him tailing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to the left there, Flip. Oh, good catch. Still right there. He might eat again. Moving to the left. Let's turn it back on.
Okay, we got him.
All right. Great job, Flip. Let's get after him. Boy, look at him go, would you? Woo! Jeez. Great job, Flip. Great
Nobody
job.
said that bonefish weren't fast.
Let me know if you want me to do anything different.
I don't know. I think the fish is doing everything right now.
For me, the qualities of the bonefish don't reside so much in its storied power and speed as in the moments before the strike, those tiny fragments of time when every movement is critical, when the smallest mistake can cancel the effort. It's that period of seduction which ends with the strike that I love the most, and it's what makes the bonefish my favorite.
Look like you're getting a little tired now.
Oh, he's right at the surface now. That's great.
Boy, what a nice fish.
He's fat, isn't he? Fat little baby. Okay, Rob, I think we can probably get him. Boy, oh boy, look, he's got beautiful blue tips on his fins.
Boy, that is a pretty fish.
You ready?
Yeah. All right. Nice fish, Flip. Nice fish.
Hey, Rob, bonefish and a tarpon. You know what we could do right now?
I know what we could do right now.
All we need is to find a permit, and we got a grand slam.
You know, we've had a good day.
We got
What do we got to lose?
nothing. We may have enough time to do it today. Goodbye.
Let's not waste any time.
Let's try to do that.
Let's go do it.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go.
I remember this spot, Rob.
Oh, do you? You know, Flip, being we're just going to try for a permit, we're not going to probably throw it any bonefish, you might want to throw in that crab.
The big artillery, huh?
Yeah. You know as well as I do how they eat that crab.
It's easy enough to do, and you've got a good point. I like to use the clouser in a situation where you might see permit or bonefish.
Yeah.
Permit will eat it, bonefish will eat it,
I'll tell
everybody
you that.
likes it. But
They're
when it
great
comes
flies.
to pure permit, nothing beats the crab. Let me just check his feet, Rob, so that he can swim. Beware.
Well, for the tide that we got, Flip, hopefully there should be some fish up here.
You know, I'm not worried about the tide. I'm worried about the sky more
Oh, I
than
know.
anything else. This little window of sunlight, if we could just skate through.
Well, we don't have a lot of time, but hopefully.
Does cormorants flying over the permit flat, does that bother anything?
I don't think it's going to help us, Flip.
I wonder if they feel like we're fouling up their fishing for them by being here.
Can mess up ours, too.
Yeah. This is the way a lot of Grand Slams end.
Yeah, I know it, Flip.
Just a fun day of fishing. Rob. Is that you see where the water's just shaking a little bit there?
I see the shaking water, Flip, but I can't tell what it is.
You could kick me a little bit to the right.
Yeah, Flip is a permit. I just saw him stick his tail up.
Yeah, I see him. I got him.
Okay. Good job, Flip. Good job. What can I say, my friend? Do you know what this means?
A Grand Slam!
Oh, my God. Flip.
And a big Grand Slam. Rob! Oh, God. Look at him burn my hand. This fish is out of control.
That fish is doing something.
Oh, man.
He's kind of heading for the sea fans.
We got to be real careful about those sea fans. That is the one thing that he can do to us. Ooh.
How you doing? Still taking line?
He's still, well on the backing. Rob, he's way over there by those sea fans. You think you need the motor? You're working awful hard.
I'd rather pull after him. I'm going to try and get between him and the sea fans.
Let me tell you, this guy is... Don't worry about my angle here. Just go right for the sea fans if you can.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll just try to keep pressure on him as best I can. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. He's going away from the sea fans. We're winning here.
Lock down on that one.
He's coming now.
Good job, Flip.
Ooh. He's right on the surface now.
Good job. Good job.
Grand Slam.
I don't believe it.
He's shining a little bit, I think.
His gleaming side represented the final leg of saltwater fly fishing's ultimate achievement and rarest opportunity, the Grand Slam, catching the three most prized game fish of the flats, a tarpon, bonefish, and now a permit, all in the same day.
Grand Slam. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Look at that fish. Oh, boy. Let me get this fly out.
Flip.
There are no engraved cups or cash prizes for the Grand Slam. It's even unlikely that you'll get your name in the paper. But what Rob Fordyce and I accomplished that day in August was to build a three-piece memory that will not fade in the wash of time.
I think you earned this one. Anyway,
Eat him and gain his power.
let's do it.
This is exactly the picture that I want. You got enough teeth? I'm talking about my teeth.
I got your teeth.